Hey Lovebug, welcome or welcome back to my channel. If you happen to be new here, my name is Mercy Yvonne and my channel is all about being the intersection between faith and fashion. So we gonna serve the Lord, but baby, we gonna serve a look while doing so. Before we move any further, we have to give today's shout out to Thy Staff KSF 1643. Thank you so much for watching my last video and leaving a comment. It is greatly appreciated. If you want a shout out in future videos, baby, you gotta talk to me in the comments. Talk to me nice in the comments and you can get a shout out just like that in my next video. Moving on, in today's video, we are going to do a make it modest. I'm not completely sure if I want to turn this into a series or not. I'm kind of thinking about it. So if you do actually watch the video and you enjoy it, let me know and I can make it into a series. But in today's video, we are going to take this mesh top and make her modest. I think sometimes those of us that want to be a bit more modest, we stay away from certain items because those items are deemed as immodest or inappropriate, or that's not what a modest girl should wear, or things like that. However, I don't believe that a particular item is necessarily immodest. I think how you choose to wear it and your intention behind it is what makes it immodest, right? And so we are going to style up this mesh top in a very classy and modest way. And so if you are interested in seeing what I'm talking about, go ahead, grab your list, make a snack, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. If you are a little nervous about styling a mesh top, because mesh is known to be revealing, and revealing is typically the opposite of modest, right? The idea that a piece of clothing that is so revealing and it's see-through is not keeping you the most covered. However, I want to change our perspective on certain articles of clothing, starting with the mesh top. So, one, I do believe it depends on the type of mesh. There are some mesh that honestly have bigger holes or is a lot more see-through than others. So find a mesh option that works for you and that you feel comfortable with at least giving a try. The mesh top that we'll be using for our example in today's video was thrifted. And so it is this top, to me, yes, it's very see-through. However, it's really dependent upon how you style it. So looking at our first look, you can style a mesh top as a top and be okay with it just being a top. However, I think your best friend is going to be one choosing something to go underneath that is going to give you maximum coverage. So I chose a tank that has thicker straps and it is a full tank. So it is full coverage. It's not cropped or anything showing off any skin. So the only thing that you're really getting is a little skin under the mesh in the arms. I paired it with the go-to recipe every time, and that's some denim. But I paired it with some denim cargos to give it just a little edge, if you will. And I paired it with my combat boots, a black bucket hat, and my Telfar bag, my Telfeezy, and a black belt. And it is a simple but effective look, right? It's still giving you very covered, and it's kind of as though you have on just a regular long sleeve black top. It's nothing too revealing, and I think that what you decide to pair underneath your mesh top is going to be key as to how revealing the top is actually going to be. Now, if you are someone that's just like, oh no, I can't do that, I need another layer, then we do pair it with this Barbie tee that I got from Target and literally keep all of the accessories the same, and just throw the Barbie tee on top. And so you just have the peekaboo of the mesh sleeve coming out from underneath the tee. So that is a way to add a different layer to a look, right? That element of taking just a t-shirt and cargos and you add a little mesh sleeve to it, and so it adds something. It shows that personal style, and it shows that razzle dazzle, right? So it really does give you a whole new take on a t-shirt and jeans. For our next look, we took the mesh top and we paired it underneath a tube dress. And in a sense, this is kind of a twofer, how you can make a tube dress modest as well as making a mesh top modest. So it's kind of like a 2-for-1. However, it has just a certain level of class to the look. Like, I think a tube dress can be a little revealing because you do have like all of your shoulder out and all of your arms out. And so if that is something that you're not comfortable with, taking a mesh top, so it adds just that little extra layer, but it's like you still get those that peekaboo of skin while still getting that layer of coverage. So I do believe that it's like a perfect balance. And then I just paired it with these like brown and cream and black zebra pants, slingbacks, and topped it with a nice bag, and you can be out the door. For me, this look is honestly like the epitome of date night, where you want to still be covered, but you still want to give a little, she cute, right? Like you still want to give a little cute, maybe even a little bit of sex appeal. And I know that might seem like a contradiction when we're talking about modesty, but still wanting to feel sexy. Like, just because you are modest does not mean that you, within your skin and within your clothes, you don't still want to feel an element of sexy, right? Like, that is just the truth. But I do believe that you can still give classy sexy. Like, I think that you can still give modest and covered while still giving a little bit of, I feel cute, I feel sexy, I feel feminine, I feel confident, courageous. Like, I do believe that you can still find that balance. I think you just have to kind of figure out what that looks like for you. And this is an example of something that I would wear on like a date night. Now, of course, if it's still too much, I did not show it in the video, but pair it with a coat. Pair it with a coat, and if it feels like too much, pair with a coat, and you can be out the door. Especially as we are transitioning into fall, pairing it with a coat is going to be your best friend. Going into our next look, this look is definitely screaming fall for sure, and I do feel like it is befitting as we are transitioning from summer into fall. I believe that this is an epitome of fall look, and I believe that mesh is definitely something that you can add to your fall wardrobe to add that extra layer. And for this look, we took the mesh top and we paired it with like this camel vest, some denim jeans, and black accessories, a black boot, a black bag, and a black fedora. And this look is beautiful. I believe that adding an additional layer, be it a vest or a coat, is going to be your best friend if you still feel a little revealing in a mesh top, right? It gives that sense of texture, because mesh adds that extra texture to a look while showing a little bit of skin but still being covered. Like, I think that opting for a long sleeve mesh top into my wardrobe was going to be the most befitting for me, because it's not giving too much skin. I still feel a level of covered while still giving little slivers, small slivers of a little bit of skin, and that's something that I truly enjoy. This look is good for a fall like night out, or just doing something casual, just going to a quick easy dinner, or you know, maybe even brunch. I think that it is a good look. And if you're, especially as we are transitioning into fall, which I'm so excited about, it's a good look for different fall activities. If you want to go down to the pumpkin patch, or to go pick apples or strawberries, or pick sunflowers, like, I think that is a nice, cool look for that. For our next look, baby, we are taking mesh to the office. Yes, we're taking mesh to the office. So as you can see, I styled the mesh top with this tweed vest that I got from Rainbow, and these black slacks and black loafers that I got, and black bag that I also got from Ross. And it is such a chic look. I opted to button up the vest just to give it, one, a little bit more shape, and to pull it all together. And this is a great look for the workplace. I feel that it is very tasteful. Now, of course, please pay attention to your job's dress code. Don't be blaming Marissa for getting in trouble. Now, don't blame me. However, I do believe that this is something that is very chic, and I think it is a twist on something that you wouldn't normally see or wouldn't normally do, right? I don't think that we see a lot of mesh in the workplace, which is understandable, because mesh has this revealing nature to it. However, it's all in how you style it, and I do believe that this is a very chic and put together and professional, classy look for the workplace. And we style in a little mesh, and we're playing on textures. We're playing on the texture of mesh and that fabric and material, but we're also playing on the tweed, and I feel like it just puts together a very chic and polished look. And for our last and final look, we are just giving classy, darling. We are giving classy. Ooh, yes. So I took the mesh top and I paired it underneath a cow neck kind of tank that I thrifted, and paired it with the champagne slip skirt that you have seen across my channel if you are not new here, because I've styled this skirt several times, and it gives a very sophisticated look. The mesh gives a hint of edge to me, but it still gives very classy and chic. We paired it with our black pumps and a black trunk kind of style bag, and I think this look is very chic. It's very classy. When I think of this look, I think of dinner, and even if you are a little on the wild side, if you will, you're on the wild side, but you still love the Lord, I think you might, depending on your church, you might be able to get away with this at church. Like, I love the look. I think it can be a good church look. However, I do believe that realistically, I would wear this look for like date night and a dinner. So like date night out with the girls, or you know, if you're going out with the bae, or if you're doing a solo date night, but you still want to get dressed up, because even if you're going out by yourself, baby, still get dolled up, okay? Put that thing on, okay? Even if you're going out by yourself, put that thing on. And I think that it is such a chic look. And once again, it plays off texture, and that is one of the reasons why I really do love the idea of a mesh top. And I'm glad that I ventured out into getting one, just because it adds an extra layer. It adds a little extra razzle dazzle, little flavorless seasoning to a look, because you're playing on texture, you're playing on the bit of skin, like you're playing with a bit of skin, like the small little sliver, like, ooh, that's skin, but it's not really skin, right? Like, there is something about that I think is so, it's so chic. Like, have you seen those people being like, oh, I think it's so chic when you do X, Y, and Z. Like, oh, when I see this, I automatically know you're chic. I feel like when you style mesh in such a tasteful way, you are chic because you are taking something that is labeled as revealing, right? And you are making it covered, but still adding something. I don't know if I'm making any sense, but I hope I am. Like, there is something to me that does give a little level of chic appeal to mesh if done tastefully and properly, right? And at the end of the day, my videos are always nothing but inspiration. So, baby, if you don't want to do mesh, then don't do mesh. Like, it's cool. However, if you've been scared to do mesh, then use this as your encouragement and as your inspiration for ways to incorporate mesh items into your wardrobe. Sorry, my camera cut off. However, I hope that you were able to draw inspiration from today's video and understanding that just because an item may be deemed as immodest or revealing or scandalous or risque or whatever the case may be, that you can still repurpose the item, revamp the item, and change the way that you look at wearing that piece to make it fit your personal style, especially if your style pillar and something that is extremely important to you is modesty. You can take those pieces and make it work. It's all about how you look at it. And so I hope that you were able to draw inspiration for a mesh top in your wardrobe and find something that works for you and feels comfortable and true to you. I do believe that these looks are evident that mesh can be done modestly and tastefully. And so I hope that you feel encouraged to maybe try it out. If there are some other things that you do want me to try and revamp or repurpose and make it modest, go ahead and sign off in the comments. I really truly do love to hear from you all. However, Lovebug, I'm sorry to announce that's it for today's video. However, I do hope to see you back here next week for another upload. But until then, remember that I love you, God loves you, and remember to always, and I do mean always, love you too. Smooches, Lovebug.